Okay, welcome back, guys. Okay, now this is the sewing tutorial. So I want to start with the back placket. That's some people call it back turn up. See what I just did there? I just sew it to the back part. Please, if you've not watched the first video, try and watch it to see how we got to this place. Okay, so after that, the next thing is the front. I want to fix the chest. That's the neck placket. The placket on the chest, yes. I know this has a double placket. Okay, so while it's facing you, the right side is facing you, you take up the one on the left side and fix the smaller placket. You see this placket, it has the bigger side. So this side I'm touching now, you place it right side facing wrong side, the right side of the placket facing the wrong side of your top. Okay, so you sew. Just watch what I'm doing. Please, if you have not subscribed, do it to subscribe, like, and share this video. Okay, thank you. So we sew. Remember, we made a notch on the top. We made a notch. So till we get to that notched area. When we get to that notched area, we bring it out. We bring it out and turn it. We flip it to the right side. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, so this is it. We flip it to the right side of the top. So you see what we have. Okay, so this is it. So now we're going to top stitch. Just watch what I'm doing. We'll top stitch down. So we are top stitching the other side that was not sewn to the fabric, to the top. Okay, so when we get to the down part, you can decide to just close it up or you just stitch it. So you see what I'm doing? I'm closing mine. I turned it and stitched across. Okay, so that is it about how to fix the smaller placket. Okay, so now we're going to fix the bigger one. So you see how it's looking. Okay, so now let's fix the bigger placket. So this is the bigger placket. The same way you place the smaller one, the right side of the placket facing on the wrong side of the cloth. You see what I did? The bigger side that doesn't have stay is where I'm sewing from. Just look at it very well. So you're going to sew. Please, as you're sewing, make sure both the placket and the top, that edges where you are sewing from, make sure they are equal. So we sew till we get to the notched area. Same thing we did to the smaller placket. We sew till we get to the notched area. Before we get there, look at what I'm doing. I'm removing the excess allowance at the down part, not the upper part, at the down part, so that when I'm done sewing, that down part won't be too like it will be too big. The allowance there will be too big. That's just it. Okay. So after doing that, we turn it to the right side. Just look at. Okay. We turn it to the right side, just like this. Okay. So this is it. You see the way I'm arranging it, making sure it covers the smaller placket. Now I'm going to stitch at the tip. If you want your own stitching to be bigger, like you don't want it to be at the tip, you can shift it a little, but I'm stitching at the tip of the placket. So I'm going to stitch it down. We'll stitch it down. Remember those remember I ironed out this this front part of this top, in order to get the center. Now I'm going to show you guys why that was done. Okay, see this down part of this placket? Just watch and see. Now I'm going to make a pointed edge. I just want the tip to be pointed. Now that pointed edge will be on the center of that place I ironed. That's the center of the top. That was the reason why I ironed the center, that's the top, in order to me to get that line where I want the edge of this placket to be. Okay, so this is it. And when I get there, I'm going to turn my needle and make sure I get that designed is that pointed edge I want at the tip. Okay, so this is it. Just follow the process. Just watch what I'm doing, follow it, you get it right. Okay, after that, then we'll continue sewing. We'll continue sewing. Okay. Now when we get to that notched part, remember this top has a notched area. See that place I'm touching? When I get there, I'm going to close it up. Just follow me. Okay. I think we've gotten to that part now. Okay, watch what I'm going to do. I'm not taking out this thing. I'm not taking out the needle entirely. Okay, see that notched part? I'm just going to lift it this way, turn it, then I'll close it up. See what I'm doing? Okay. So after closing it, I'll bring it out from the sewing machine. So you see what we have. Now I'm going to shift the other side. This is what we have. This is what we have. Okay, now I already pushed the side that has the smaller placket aside. Then I want to stitch this upper part. You see, in order for the sewing to be complete, sewing on the placket to be complete, I shift the side that has a smaller placket. Then I'm going to sew it to the top. Okay, just like this. Okay, so this is it. That is it about that. Okay, we are done with the placket. Okay, so you see how fine it's looking. I'm going to use my pin to hold it. Okay, so I've closed it down with my pin. Now what I have to do is I want to fix our pocket. Now from the shoulder line, I'll come down by 7 inches. Yeah, you saw what I did there. From the shoulder, I came down by 7 inches. Okay. Now from this side, this placket side, I'll go in by 1 inch. Then I'll place my pocket. It will start from the 7 inch, and from the placket area it will start from the 1 inch. Then I'll use pin. I'll secure it with pin. I'll hold it down with pin. After that, I'm going to sew it round. Please don't forget to secure with your pin so that while sewing it won't fall out. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I've secured it with my pin. So now I'm going to sew. Okay. Just sew it. If you want if you want the sewing to be at the tip of the pocket, you sew it that way. If you want it to go in a little, fine, depending on how bold you want your sewing to be. Just sew it round with the shape of the pocket. Okay. This is the same thing when sewing for an adult. The only difference is that the measurements differs. Like if it's the pocket now, the pocket length, that's where the pocket to start from. For an adult, I start 8.5 depending, and the wideness of the pocket differs. Same with the placket, but it's just the same thing with making for an adult. It's just the measurements that differs. Okay. So that is it. We are done with the pockets. Now we're going to join the front and back together. Okay, we're joining the front and back panel of the top together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it wrong side against wrong side. See what I'm doing now? The wrong side of the front facing the wrong side of the back. See, wrong side of the front facing the wrong side of the back. Then I'll go to the shoulder area. Just watch what I'm going to do. I'll go to the shoulder area. Okay, I'm trying to trim it out so that I notice that the back is not equal. So I'm trying to trim it out on that shoulder area. Please, if yours is equal, don't trim out anything. No. Okay, so now I'm placing it wrong side against wrong side. You see the way I'm holding it. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is, okay, this is it. Then you count. Let me show you guys. You see, from there now we have 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. You count the first and the second, hold it together. Then the third one, you flip it to the right side. Okay, let's take it again so that you will see. This is the first and the second layer. You hold them together. You have 3 layers. Hold the first and the second layers together. You see? Then the third one, you flip it. See the way I did it? That's just it. It's very simple. Now, this way, after sewing, when you turn it inside, you will not see the sewing. The rough edges won't be showing. It's going to be hidden. So that's the reason why I I turn my shoulder this way. And it's the best method to turn your shoulder. So now remember we left half an inch allowance while cutting. So we're going to use that half an inch to sew all through. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. Same thing we did on this shoulder, we're going to do it on the other side of the shoulder. Okay, please while sewing, make sure in the neck area that the 3 layers are equal before you start sewing. Okay, so that is it about joining the front and the back panel together. Okay, so this is it. So you're going to turn it, you see. So this is what it looks like. You see the inside, the rough edges is not showing. So now we're going to join the other part of the shoulder, same way we did this one. Okay, okay, so we are done joining the two shoulders. So next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take this our front and back panel to the table and arrange it and make sure all measurements are accurate. So this is it. Trying to make sure, see from the down part, I'll make sure they are equal. At the armhole area, the same thing. If there are any excesses, they will be removed. So you see our shirt is already coming out fine. So what next you're going to do? I'm ironing it. I want to press it down. So I'll press it down. Okay. Okay, like I told you guys, we're going to take out all the excess allowance. Now I've noticed that the shoulder is not equal. It doesn't rhyme with the armhole. So I'm going to take out that allowance there. Please, before you do this, make sure you take your shoulder measurement to know if you have any allowance to take out. Okay, so this is me still cross-checking the shoulder measurement. So I've noticed I still have to trim out um part of the shoulder, and it involves the armhole. Okay, why sewing? If yours is equal, both the armhole and the shoulder, please and please don't trim out anything, please. Okay, so now this is me trying to um also use the other side of the shoulder to check the other parts and also trim out the excess allowance on that side. So you see what I'm doing? Please, before you do this, make sure you have allowance to trim out. If you don't have any, just leave it the way it is. Take your armhole measurement, trim it out, and go and fix your sleeve. But because I have an excess allowance, that is why I'm trimming it out. Please take note. Okay, you check your shoulder, you check your chest area, check everything. If you have more than the allowance you're supposed to use in sewing, let me say you're supposed to have 1 inch allowance for sewing, then you have like 3, then you have to trim out. Okay, so now we're checking our shoulder. Remember, our shoulder, whatever we have, we're still supposed to have 1 inch for joining. That 1 inch, half inch will go on both sides. Okay, this is me checking our chest and seeing the allowance I have. Okay, I have more than enough, so I'm going to take it out on both sides. You saw what I just did there? I'm going to take it out on both sides. So you see, this is what I mean. Okay, so I'm taking it out on both sides. Okay, so I'm checking my chest measurement to see that. Okay, so what I have will be enough for me to sew. I'll still go to the down part, do same thing, because this person, the chest and the waist is not equal. So I was also checking out for the waist area. Now I'm trimming out the allowance on the part that will be, that's the slit part. Okay, I'm trimming out the allowance. So this is just it. It's very easy. So me still cross-checking to make sure the two sides are equal. Okay, so we still have allowance to trim out here. Okay, please, sorry about the power bank that appeared on the video. I was charging my phone and recording this video at the same time. So that's it about that. So this is it. Now we're going to check out our neck area. Okay, let's work on our neck. Now, before you do anything, before you touch your neck, you check your round neck measurement. If it's equal, if it's okay, maybe just half an inch allowance more than, you leave it. But here, I notice my neck needs little trimming. Just little trimming. You see? So you see how it's coming out? Just little trimming in order for it to be equal. I'm not doing this to add more allowance to it, no. So if you check yours and it doesn't need any trimming, then there is no need for it. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I just need to trim out some excesses. That's just it. Enough for me to make my neck balance. So this is it. Okay, Okay, so still going to cross check the neck to make sure I'm on track. Please, if you cross check yours and the what you're having is smaller than your actual client neck measurement, then maybe you just trim it a little, okay? But if you check you have like 1 inch more than the neck, there is no problem, okay? So now we're going to trim out the upper part of the armhole. Look at what I'm doing. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so that to avoid folding at the armhole area. So you see what I did? You see how I trim it? Just the upper part of the armhole. That's the front part. I'm going to do same thing to this side. Just the front part, please. The back part is not included. Okay? See what I did? Just half an inch. I reduce the front armhole by half an inch. Okay, so now it's time for us to go and sew. But before then, I have to notch the shoulder area where I will join my sleeve from. Okay, so now I'm going to start joining my sleeve, but before then I have to stitch that shoulder area where the front and back join. Is optional, but it gives this your top this, it makes that area to relax just a little. Just top stitch. Just watch what I'm doing, please. This is the part where the front and back shoulder was joined. So I'm just going to top stitch on it. It makes that area to relax. That is why I'm top stitching it. Okay, I've top stitched from one side of that shoulder area to the other side. Okay, so please if you want to know how I cut the sleeve of this top, because the sleeve is a long sleeve with placket and cuff. It has cuff. So please, I have a separate video on that. I don't want this video to be so long. It already has part one and part two. So because of that, I did a separate video on how to cut a long sleeve with placket and cuff, double placket and cuff. So please, I'm going to be dropping the link in the comment section so that you can watch it and see how the sleeve was cut. Okay, thank you and God bless you. So this is it. You see that shoulder area. Now I want to pipe my neck. I also have a tutorial on how to cut your neck piping. Okay, so this is my neck piping. Now on the smaller part, I'm going to fix. Now I'm starting from the bigger placket side. That is where I'm starting my fixing of neck piping from the bigger placket, not the smaller placket. You know that this neck has two plackets, the smaller and the bigger one. So I'm starting from the bigger part. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link on how to cut neck piping, how to cut sleeve in the comment section, because I already have those videos, so there is no need doing that all over again to make the videos to be so long, okay, and tiring for you to watch. Thank you and God bless you. Okay, so this is it. Now please have it in mind that while fixing your neck piping, while piping your neckline, don't draw. You don't draw it. Just be doing it. You know the way the neck piping was cut, like in bias form, like just be sewing it in a round form. Just watch what I'm doing. You're not supposed to draw this thing. You see the way I'm sewing it? Like as if I'm bending my hand. I'm not sewing it straight. I'm not drawing it straight. As if I'm bending my hand. Okay. So that is what you're going to do till you get to the end of the neckline. Now, if you want to make a double sewing, that means after sewing this, you can still go to the tip of the neck and sew it again. Or if you want 3 times, like you want to sew it, stitch it 3 times, you can still do same thing. Depending on how wide the neck piping is, okay, that will determine how many times you're going to run your thread on it. Okay, after sewing the first one, it can be one, it can be two, it can be thrice, that can be three, depending on what you want. Okay, so that is it about that. So when we get to the edge, two things are involved. Is either you fold it inside and sew, or you just cut it out and trim it, depending on how neat yours is. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of the neckline. Just watch and see. So this is it. So see, I still left little allowance that I'll use and fold it inside. Now, like I told you guys, if you want, you can stitch yours once, you can stitch twice, you can stitch 3 times, depending on your choice and how wide your neck piping is. Okay, so mine, I'm going to stitch twice. So from the placket area, I'm going to stitch it up, then I continue on the neckline. Just watch and see what I'm going to do. So you see from this placket area, okay, I stitch it up, okay, then I'll continue this way. Like I told you guys, I'm stitching twice, okay. When I got to that ending part, I folded it. So you see, we're done with the piping of the neck. You see, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. Okay, so this is it. Very simple. So now I'm going to fix our sleeve. Now before fixing this sleeve, make sure you iron it out. You see that edge I'm touching? Iron it out so that the line at the center of the sleeve will be visible. Now, while sewing, you will know, while adding the placket to the sleeve, you will know the reason why we had to iron out the sleeve in order for us to get the center of the sleeve. Now I want to fix the sleeve. Place the sleeve front side facing front side on the top. Now, in order for you to know the side, now you see this smaller part, this smaller placket, this smaller placket is going to be facing the back side of your top. You see, that smaller side, it will be facing the back side of your top. Then once it's facing the back side of your top, when you fix your sleeve, it's going to come out fine. Remember, this top has placket and cuff. If you don't follow this method, you might end up losing the sleeve after fixing it. Reason being that the cuff or the placket won't be where it's supposed to be. I've in the past I've made this mistake before until I had to master this, and whenever I'm fixing my sleeve to my top, I follow this method. Okay, so that is it about it. You fix from one side of the sleeve, that's from the center to the one side of the armhole, just like that. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so we are done with that. We're going to do same thing to the other side of the sleeve. We're going to fix it also. So the same way we fixed the first one. So now we are done with fixing the sleeve. Now we are going to shape it out. Now I will shape with my round sleeve. I added half an inch at this beginning. This is where the cuff will be. Please, this is where the cuff will be. That's the wrist area. My round wrist plus half an inch. Now the reason why I added a half inch is for pleats. Is for pleats. This that remember we are going to have a plate at that wrist area because this is going to have a curve. So that was why I added that half an inch to that wrist area. Please take note, it was only on that wrist area I added a half an inch. So after that, you shape in with your other measurement. That is it about that. So you shape till you get to the down part. When you get to the armhole area, you shape. You get to the chest line, you shape. Depending on what you use, the allowance you left. If you left half an inch or 1 inch on your body, like that's the chest area, the waist, and the down part, then whatever allowance you left is what you are going to use to shape it out. So that is it about the shaping. You do that on both sides. Our top is almost ready. Okay, we are done shaping. This is what we have. So now we're going to fix our cuff on our sleeve. Remember what I told you? I already have a video on how to do this sleeve, both cuff and everything. Okay, so you see the reason why that part was ironed. I still went over to the table to still press it more. So do same thing if you've not done yours. I still went over to the table to press it. I needed the center of the sleeve. I needed the line at the center of the sleeve. So that was why I did that. So now let's fix our cuff. Let me show you guys how to fix this cuff. So you get the cuff. You see the smaller placket. Okay, so trimming out the excess allowance to make sure that equal. Okay, so checking out the side that has tail. Okay, so you see that side, the smaller placket, the side that has a smaller placket, you fix it this way, you fix it this way, so you can use your pin to hold it after fixing. Just put it inside like that, at least half an inch inward, then you're going to stitch. Like I said, you can use your pin. You saw what I was going through. Once I will put it in, it will go out. You can use your pin to hold it down. Then you're going to sew at the tip, just like I'm doing. You sew. Please make sure you watch the video on how to cut the sleeve with cuff. If not, you're going to have issues trying to fix this. Yes, I know what I'm saying. So you're going to sew. Just be very, very this place you have to be very careful. Okay. Now while you sew, you take the other side. That's the side that has a bigger placket. Make sure it's touching the end of the cuff in order for you to know where to pleat. You see, as it's touching the end of the cuff, you see that our pleating is already showing. You see? So you see? Now you see that half an inch we left. You're going to pleat it towards the bigger placket area. That's towards the bigger placket side. It will be fixing the bigger placket. Once that bigger placket, that edge is touching the edge of the cuff, that's when you put it inside. Okay? Once it's touching there, then whatever remains, whatever allowance that is remaining, you pleat it towards the bigger cuff side. Yes, towards that area. I'm just trying to let you guys know that the pleat will be facing that bigger placket, not the smaller placket. That's just it. And you sew to the end. Okay? Making sure everything is inside. So this is it. Okay. So I had to check the inside to make sure my sewing aligned, you see. So that's why I said you have to watch that video on how to cut and sew a sleeve with placket. If not, maybe after sewing you will notice that you are not able to get the inside, like the sewing didn't align, then you have to start all over. So this is how to do this. Now I'm going to stitch that ending part. Watch that video to notice why I'm stitching just from that part, because I already started the stitch initially, but I had to stop halfway in order for me to have space where the sleeve would enter inside the placket. That's just it. Sorry, inside the cuff. That's just it. Okay, so do wait to watch the video. So this is it. Okay, I'll do same thing to the other side. Okay, so this is it. Is it not looking beautiful? So all we have to do now is to make our buttonholes and fix our button. That if we want to make use of button, if you want to make use of cuff links, you just make your buttonholes or cuff holes and leave it like that. So we'll do same thing to the other parts of the sleeve. Our shirt is almost ready. So now what we have to do now, we are trying to already weaved the inside. I'm trying to fold. Now before I fold, I iron. I make sure I iron my shirts, my top. I use my pressing iron to fold it. Now that is the down part I'm trying to hem. But first of all, I'm going to use my pressing iron to fold it. How you do this is, once you get your full length, whatever remains, you fold it in. You can use your hemming gum to hem it. That if you have the permanent, there is a permanent hemming gum, I think that one, it takes a very long time before it removes from the fabrics. If you don't have that, you can just use your iron to hold it, iron it out. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to get to fold the edges, that's the down part, to hem it. So after that, I'll take it over to the machine and I'll stitch it down. Like I said, our top is almost ready. Thank you so much for always watching. Please don't forget to drop your suggestions, your questions. I will attend to all of them, okay? Please, if you try out this method and it worked for you, let me know in the comment section so that you can encourage others to also watch the video, okay? If you also encounter any problems, any issues while sewing or cutting it, let me know, okay? So I'll still make a video on how to cut and sew a senator top for an adult. But like I said, it's almost the same thing. We are like this now, we are done with our shirts. So for the, all we have to do is to go to the chest size. Okay, to make our to fix our pressing button on the neck area, that's on the placket. We fix our pressing button. We go to the sleeve side, that's the cuff. We'll make our buttonholes, fix our buttons, and if you are using cuff links, you just make your buttonholes and leave it like that. And remember, if it's cuff links, the holes won't be that wide. Okay, so that is it about that. You see how I'm taking my time to iron it out, okay, so that you have a neat finishing. That is why I'm taking my time to iron it out. So thank you guys for always coming through. Like I said, try out this method. If it works for you, you let me know in the comment section, because it's going to encourage so many people to try out the method. And please don't forget to like this video. If you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, okay? Just try and subscribe. You're going to like it, you're going to enjoy it, okay? So that is it about that. Thank you for watching. So you see what I was telling you guys, all we have to do now is to fix our pressing button on the neck area. Then we go to the sleeve, that's the cufflinks. The cuff, sorry, I'm always using cufflinks. Cufflinks is the one they buy